There are moments when something so extraordinary takes your breath away, leaving you at a loss for words. But not this time. This time, I know exactly what to say. Masterfully crafted, a true work of art, breathtakingly detailed, an astonishing achievement beyond anything I've ever seen before, a labour of love and precision, and exceeds all expectations. Ladies and gentlemen, Witcombe Park Farm by OxygenDavid for Farming Simulator 25. Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to the channel. Super excited to showcase these pictures to you today. Oh my God, what a map this is by OxygenDavid. And he's made it on FS22. So keep in mind that it's going to look even better on FS25 with the lighting, the shadowing, everything that we're going to get with that. A massive shout out to my friend Oxy. Thank you for sending these over to the channel for me to showcase. Oh mate, what a job you've done on this map. I've never seen a map like it. And from the pictures you've already seen, you probably agree with me there. What a map Witcombe Park Farm is going to be. It looks outstanding. But in this video, we're going to go through a lot of pictures that he sent over to me. Oxy has kindly grouped them up into sections, so I've got separate folders. We're going to go through the farm, the forest, the mansion, some miscellaneous photos, the motorway area, the PDA as well. I've got pictures of the town and the train. Yes, you heard that right, and the train. And we're going to go into some details on the map. I think the best place to start with some miscellaneous photos. So I'll open up the first one now that you can see, and then I'll give you a bit of the description that Oxy has sent to me as well. Welcome to Witcombe Park Farm. This is based on a real location in Gloucestershire, approximately 20 miles, two of my previous maps, Carmsden and Oakfield. So big fan of Carmsden, massive fan of Oakfield as well on FS19. So this is a real location 20 miles away from that, which is great to see. Because we've seen it before, detailed maps, and kind of does that area proud. So his goals for this map was to add a crazy amount of details and make it totally customizable and great for gameplay. Yeah, you heard that right. I know there's a lot of people that have been out there in the past asking for this, and in the past kind of, yeah, maybe criticizing it in a way, which is crazy to me because his maps are a work of art in my opinion. But yeah, if you wanted to customize the maps, that means removing fences, removing part of the farms and the buildings, you can now do that. So I know a lot of people are going to be happy with that. So he does say all hedges, fences and gates can be individually removed and placed again. Each farm is made up of 3 segments that you can remove. And there's junk as well, which means you can clean the yards up if you want to. Infrastructure, things like telegraph poles and farm floors, etc. Individual buildings, you can delete any building on the farm structure individually. So there you go. So you can take out the junk individually, you can remove the telegraph poles, farm floors, etc. And all the buildings now are going to be removable and customizable. And he does put as well that he plans on releasing over 30 highly detailed UK placeables separately from the map, which will include fences, gates, hedges, farm buildings, meaning you can customize this map as much as you want. So they're going to be additional items that you can place down and maybe expand to, or even build your own farm in a field. So that's amazing, absolutely amazing. Right, so we'll carry on reading that in a second, but let's go through the first section. We're going to go through these pictures one by one, and I'm going to start off with this. Just look at it. I mean, look at it. Look at the textures. You've got to remember, this is on FS22. Straight away, the grass texture looks superb. Oh, there's so many things, like even the nettles to the side over here look amazing. You know, we're talking some incredible detail here. The trees look outstanding. The sky, and we'll get into the sky in a minute because there's something about that that's going to be super cool. But you can see the detail in this. The buildings, they're just a unique model that's been designed for this map, and I can't wait for it. I actually can't wait. I mean, I could talk about each photo for hours, so we're just going to have to, I'm going to have to make sure I've got a bee in my bonnet and I go through, because we don't want this video to be insanely long. But I have got me flap cap on. I have got me brew ready, because I'm looking forward to going through these individually. But let me know in the comment section, and let Oxy know as well. Let him know he's been working on this map for 2 years. So go show him some appreciation in the comment section, because he definitely deserves it. Honestly, man, that is outstanding. The gate, everything, yeah. And to think this is on FS22. Can you imagine what it's going to look like with the lighting, volumetric lighting, the improved shadowing on FS25? It's making the game like next generation, really. And the textures, well, we'll go into in a second, but we're going to get some really detailed textures. So like I said, this is the miscellaneous section as well, but this is an old abandoned area. It looks run down. You can see it's got a bit of graffiti on, which I really like. Even the modelling of these kind of drums that have aged and everything, but ground textures look amazing, blended in really well. That rubble texture there. There's the little details that add up and brilliant, but look at the foliage. Look at that. How, to me, that looks so realistic. You've got the different, you could call them weeds or kind of just natural growth in the UK. You got like thistles and nettles and the cow parsley and things like that. It's stunning, absolutely stunning. If we zoom in over there and just have a look over that into that texture, look at the detail on that kind of brick building. It's outstanding. So we've got a lot of pictures. I need to remember this. We need to keep going. So you've got a bit of a lake here. Boat. That is that's got to be the abandoned area we've just seen. Look at the detail of that. Look how good that looks. We haven't even got to the farm yet. Or the train. The train, man. It looks so cool. People are going to love this. And I'll speak more about the train in a second. It really does look like a nice sized map as well. You got some good field sizes there. Grass texture is on point as always. The trees are a big improvement, but the side of the roads stand out to me. The foliage area, that kind of just natural growth that you'd see. It's stunning. Wow. Wow. Look at that. That wheel there, it's either like running off water or just a natural wheel of some sorts, but it's, yeah, the texture of the buildings. Again, the texture stands out to me. That's what kind of just makes it look like it's next generation. Like, we've not seen textures like this in Farming Simulator. I definitely haven't seen textures that detailed before. It reminds me of, other games and how graphically, how much of an improvement they are graphically. And you can see in the distance there, we've got a bit of a manor house. And just, yeah, I mean, I, for one, are thinking about role plays, stories, and everything like that. But what a stunning picture that is. So let's carry on. I'm going to have to be quick in this. I just can't help myself. I could talk about this picture for hours. You've probably noticed the sky as well. It looks so much better. There is something that's going to be built into the map, which is technically like a static sky that we're going to have an option to have that will change as well. So I'll go into that in a second. As soon as we've gone through this picture, I'll carry on reading a bit more of his description. But yeah, you can see some nice fields here. Got his equipment out. So we'll kind of fly through these a little bit more. But wow, look at the dry stone walls. Textures again on the buildings. The kind of foliage, the natural growth area. It's stunning. It is stunning. I don't really think I can say anything else. It's just an outstanding map. And it's still a work in progress. This is going to be coming out in 2025. There's no specific month yet or anything like that, not Q1, Q2, Q3, or Q4. It's going to be releasing in 2025, and it's for Farming Simulator 25 alone. It's not coming out to 22. But the great thing about it is it's 2 years into development. So, yeah, so it's great news for us players that are moving to FS25 because, you know, we've already got someone this talented working on a map that we can play on. It's going to be outstanding. I know a lot of players, people are probably watching this right now and agreeing with it. It just looks next level. Witcombe Park Farm, everybody. FS25. Have we already seen maybe potentially the best map for FS25? Look at that church in the distance. One of the first farms, potentially. Who knows? But I love the look of that field, the landscape of it, the way it's naturally flowing down like that into the side. And you've got this track. Wow. And the fence as well. All these fences are removable. So if it is a farm that we can purchase, we can remove these fences out. You can customize that, place new buildings down, expand on. It's going to be insane. Now that in itself just speaks 1,000 words. That's stunning. We've just moved further down now, and what a farmhouse. You know, me, farmhand, let's just say, you know, characters living in that. God, it's going to be amazing. I just think the textures, it's amazing to think that the grass texture looks so good on this, and this is FS22. The lighting coming off them sheds as well. Now, I do like the lighting. From what I can tell, this is purely in-game. There's no reshade or anything like that. Oxy's taking these pictures in-game. He might have his own custom lighting in there and stuff like that, but that should come with the map. I love the ground texture there of that, the cracks in it, the detail of that fence, got a bit of rust on it. Really well textured, high detail textures as well. And you can see this like shed looks worn and it's aged and it's had some use, but it just fits perfectly into that scene, and what a setting that is. So are these going to be like more, are these technically like areas we could build into? Are they purchasable farm areas? I guess we'll find out. But look at that grass texture. That is definitely a new grass texture. Wow. I can't get over how good it looks. It's insane. This is just a miscellaneous folder. I've got plenty more. And there's some coming up that are going to blow your mind in this. I'm telling you now. And obviously, we're seeing all the custom modeling here and the layout a bit of it. Oh, God. But you can see the detail of these buildings that he's gone into. This must take hours and hours, hundreds of hours, just to model something like that alone. Just that one house. And they don't, you know, and textures aren't cheap and modeling. So, yeah, man, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Go show him some support. I'll put his PayPal link in the video description. Show him your appreciation. Send him a donation if you will and if you're able, because I know it'll mean a lot to him because you can see the amount of passion that's gone into this for us players. And this isn't a map we're not going to get. We're going to get this in FS25. Trust me, we're going to get this map. It's just insane. It is. And if I'm going too fast in any of the pictures, just pause the video, have a look for yourself. But, I mean, you know, I'm not going to skip past that. Look at that. It's like a dam of some sorts. And, oh, God, it's insane. The detail to that. Can you imagine playing this on FS25 and how immersed we're going to be? UK players are going to be loving it. People that like to play UK-style maps. Oxy, man, you've set the standard once again. You really have. A good example now, one that manor house from the distance, but the size fields, they are good size fields. You know, we've got a mixture I've seen so far of some small, but there is some quite large fields, not like American size fields, but big enough for a UK map. It's kind of got the calms and some of the calms and field sizes in. Whereas Court Farms have felt like had a lot of medium-sized fields, so that's nice to see. Right, so we're getting close now. After this picture, just want to prepare yourself for this one coming up because I was blown away by this next picture. You ready? I mean, that says it all. Look at the snow on the ground. That's texture of melted snow as well. So when it snows, we're going to see this visually on the road. It looks like almost like slush at this point. You know, it's starting to wear. And if we go to the next one, look at that. Snow on the ground. So even if Giants haven't put it in FS25, Oxy's got us Oxy's got us. You don't have to worry. We're going to see snow visualized on the roads. I mean, look at that. Oh, is it? I'm going to just say, when's it coming out, Oxy? When's it coming out? Come on, get this game, get FS25 out and get this out, because this is outstanding. And the grass texture there. Who wouldn't want to do mowing in that? Honestly. Outstanding. Crop texture there as well. Look at the foliage. How natural this looks here with the nettles. And we've got double-sided rendering as well coming to FS25. Oxy's going to make the most of that as well, which will help a lot when it comes to performance and the way it's visualized as well. So it might look even better. But I think we can already agree, collectively as a community, that this is one hell of a map. So we've seen a bit of the church there in the distance. And I know from previous experiences with Oxy that church is detailed and it's got some really good textures, just like this roof has here. You can see that like the way that them kind of like slats of, them roof tiles have kind of dropped down, and just the smallest details like that make a difference. Textures of the buildings as well. To think where we're going to be in FS25 when we play Farming Simulator just amazes me. So this is the last picture now in the miscellaneous category. And you can see that we're doing some mowing. And you can see the different types in there. You've got a bit of... You've got something else going on as well in there. It's not just grass, but look at the grass texture. Let's zoom in and have a look at this. That is new grass texture. That's fully grown grass, and you can see how dense and how full that is. And I hope we see that. I think that's a better texture than what FS25 is for me. So I hope Oxy sticks to his grass texture that he's made for this map, and we get to see that, because I think it's a massive improvement. It looks more natural. So here's the PDA. This is what the map's going to look like. Obviously, we haven't got all the icons on, but this is the GPS image of the map itself. You can see that it has got 3 little reservoirs there. It looks like it's maybe by a water company of some sorts. A lot of forestry area, good sized fields, mixture of grass and arable as well. A perfect spot, really. Yeah, but that is the PDA, and you can see the motorway down the side here, that it is actually going to be in the map as well. And we've got a few other areas that we can look at as well. So let's carry on with the description. I'll put a few pictures up as we go through it, and we'll carry on with what Oxy says. So the main reason Oxy chose this area was for its huge elevation and woodland area. He didn't want to sink a bunch of trees into the map to represent a forest. Instead, I wanted to create a realistic one with beautiful woodland walks you can get lost in. To do this, I looked for pictures for inspiration and created all my own forest foliage and tree trunks, etc., using high quality textures up to 8K textures, and added lots of new models. So yeah, 8K textures. No wonder it looks so good. This is really interesting. He carries on and says, the map also contains skybox mode, which can be turned on or off at the farmhouse, which are great for screenshots. All my screenshots are with this enabled. So everything we're seeing right now is with this skybox enabled. And this gives players a choice. There are 4 sky textures: dawn, day, dusk, and raining, which change at certain times of the day. These textures are 16K and have been edited by me for some of the highest quality textures possible in a game. So we'll get this in-game as a mode. I think it's going to be PC that get that. I don't know if that's console. Eventually we'll learn more about PC and console and what's going on there. We are going to get this mode called Skybox mode, where we get 4 different sky textures, and like you saw, perfect for taking screenshots. So I know a lot of the screenshot pros out there are going to just love the fact that we can do that. No more Photoshop and taking the sky out and swapping it. I also wanted to add a drivable steam train to the map, so you could roar through the English countryside from inside the cab. Passenger carriages will be added later. How cool is that? Let's move to our next category. I mean, we'll start with the motorway, because the motorway, there's only 2 pictures. There's the 2 pictures in that, so it's easy to go through. But as you can see, this first one, I mean, it looks bang on. It looks spot on, and seems like we can actually get onto that motorway. I'm not 100% certain because I don't know where the boundaries of the map, but there's definitely traffic on it. But, I mean, 135 up that motorway shouldn't happen, but it's definitely going to happen. And then here's another angle. You can see, definitely drive that tractor across. Maybe that's the point where we see it. I know there's been a few maps like that where you couldn't drive on the motorway, but you can drive across it, so you can still visualize the traffic. But you never know, we might be able to get on that Amazing for role plays. Me and George on a road trip. Right, so let's move on to the forest then, because Oxy's been talking about the forest and he's put a lot of detail into it. Like he mentioned, this isn't just trees that he's kind of put into the ground. He's designed this from pictures and tried to take a lot of inspiration. And I think it shows, because even the side of the road looks better and the trees themselves look more full. And like I said, with FS25 and double rendering, this might look even better if that's possible. I mean, like you can see that the tree trunks, the dead trees that are just the past fallen trees that are just sitting there, and all the natural kind of growth that you'd expect to see. And I mean, that to me looks stunning. The bluebells just out in that area, a bit more of an opening in that kind of forestry area, just looks natural. And I love the bluebells. So he mentioned as well about the footpath, natural kind of woodland walks, and you can see that here, and you can see the detail that he's gone into with that. It looks stunning. I mean, to me, right, this looks better than Riverbend Springs. Like, that looks more detailed than Riverbend Springs. So, yeah, it's just that straightforward. It's mental. What a place. So that, I imagine, like, this is just my imagination now, but we've got to the end of the walk. We come up here. You can see a bit of a nice view coming out of the forest, and you can see the lighting and the trees. You can see that texture there on that tree is definitely new. It looks good. And the natural foliage just stands out. It's a small thing. It's maybe it's, it might be a small thing, but the impact it has is impressive. And I love the look of and even the fencing. If we can place that down as well, that's a nice kind of pasture fence. It's incredible. So this is a good picture because he's driving through. You can see that dirt track, and it is quite flat in area, so you can still see through the woods. It's not too bushy. It's not too dense. You can see through it where the trees are, but it's definitely still not a clearing of sorts. But I love the trees that have been, like the old trees that have kind of fell in the past, and the tree trunk just sitting there with a mixture of these textures and stones and rocks, and the natural kind of British foliage that's just lying about the place. It's outstanding. Nice texture on that track as well. Again, foliage makes such a difference. And you can see that we're definitely high up in this woodland area. So looking at that PDA previously, it's probably either to the east of the map, or it could be to the north, because that's where the woodland area was. But it's impressive. And I like the fact he's put a lot of detail into the forest as well. Because I don't know if they're logging friendly. I don't know. But, if they are, that's, you appreciate the hours that and work that's just gone into a forest. Never mind the farms that we haven't seen yet. And now that is the building that I saw. So, that, where the clearing was with the bluebells. This was just up. It looks like an old shed, maybe a farmer's shed. And a bit of a water tank as well. And again, amazing textures on that tank. It's got a bit of rust on it. Just genuinely authentic, even the tyres. A really nice view. You can tell that we're probably in autumn now, or maybe even the winter months. Maybe about autumn, but the trees are looking a bit bare, and you can see the change in seasons there as well. I mean, the textures on the brick buildings, especially how they stand out so much as like a 3D texture, the modelling that's gone into that. I can't actually give any more praise to this map. It's just outstanding. It looks incredible, and I'm super excited for it. And if you are too, go show Oxy some support. Definitely go show him some support, even if it's just a $5. Go get a pint or something. Just show him some support for this, because he deserves it. He really does. I'm already thinking about storylines I can do in this forest. If you've watched The Farmhand, or if you're new to the channel, I do that Halloween special called True Story. It's going to happen in these woods. You just know. What a nice drive. I mean, that's first-person view, in cab, wintertime, snow's falling, driving through that. Picturesque. Now, I don't know if that's a farm, but we're definitely getting a bit more we're definitely getting to an area where there's some buildings there, maybe a farmhouse or some little cottages or whatever. But it's a nice transition there. But there we go. That is all the pictures from the forest. And again, like I said, we've got to go through the mansion. We've got some pictures on the town, on the train. We've also got the farm. And I'm going to save the farm till last because, it's in, that's the place we're going to spend most of the time on. And from what I've seen, I think you'll be very impressed. But let's have a look at the mansion now. So this is that manor house that we saw. And you can see the detail that's gone into this. Now, this is probably just for show. I don't know if it's going to have some kind of sell point or even a production involved in it. But I do know, for me, who does the farmhand, this is going to play a crucial role in my future storytelling. And I just think the detail of it especially is incredible. The modelling and the textures that go into this for the house, the manor house itself, the buildings, the walls, the different types of walls as well. You've obviously got this lake area or a pond or some sort, and even the little bridge. It just looks incredible. And look at that. I mean, what else can you say to that? The gate, everything. It's just outstanding detail. Everything just pops out. And there you go, you got a pool as well, tennis court. This like garden area where that pond was. God, the rich, they've got some money. They've got some money at the manor house. But again, there's also fields attached to it. I do really like that gate texture as well. And I'm looking in, you can see some wet patches on the ground, which is, again, something that I really like. I don't know if they'll kind of appear or they're there just permanently, but either way, they just feel natural in the spot. But I'm kind of looking around the surroundings of this manor house, which we have seen in the distance previously on some of the miscellaneous photos at the start. But I just like the field sizes around them. So, got a bit of work at the manor house. Yeah, the details and the textures just pop. And I love the grass texture. I really do. Right, so there we go. So that we've gone through the mansion now. We've got the farm left, we've got the town left, and the train. So I think I'll go, do you know what? I'm going to go to the train because the town's really impressive and so's the farm. And I think we'll go to the train, we'll have a look at these few pictures in that, and then we'll carry on reading some of the details. Right, so here you can see the train line and what looks to be like a train station there. So we do have a fully functioning train on. Now, I know you can ride it as a passenger, you can actually get onto the train. I don't know if it's going to be a sell point train. I'm not sure yet. Not had any confirmation of that off Oxy, but potentially it could be if it's a fully functioning train, or it might just be a really nice visual show. Can you imagine mowing grass in the summer and the steam trains coming past as you're mowing? It's just going to be perfect. But the textures of the track itself and then the distance there, you've got this train station, but wait till you see the train. I mean, look at that though. Look at that. So you've got Great Western Railway there, probably really precise to a kind of village vibe or a town railway line or a train station that you can get into the small area. But you can see this is looking from that direction. We kind of turned around on a 180 now. But yeah, again, it's just so detailed. Everything pops, really well textured. And I can just see me standing at the train line trying to get away from George in my Farmhand series. It's stunning. And it is nice to see a train on a UK map, and a traditional train at that. I love that church in the distance. That is bang on to how a UK traditional kind of Christian church looks. And I love the texture. I love it. The fact that it's right by this field. Can you imagine being out mowing and then this thing comes flying past? We're going to have a mallard. And now it is a traditional, old school British train that's going to be on the map. It's not just, some just standard train. This is a proper mallard, modelled and everything correctly. And again, this is something that costs money to model. So that's why I say, go show him some support, because these models aren't cheap, but he's getting him in the game for us to experience, and and I appreciate it definitely. But what a train that looks like, a mallard. Is it the mallard? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I am, Oxy. Is it the mallard or a mallard? Look at that. I mean, that is that's what I call the definition of a perfect thumbnail. Look at that. and it's fully functioning. So you can get in this as well as a passenger. So there's a picture inside the train. As you can see, someone's riding around in that right now. And what a view. Oxy. Wow, mate. Honestly, I can't wait for this map. It looks amazing. All right, so let's go over the planned features now before we kind of go through the town. I know this video's gone on for quite some time. I'm enjoying it. I'm just going to drink my brew. Some things you can't rush, and we want to go through these pictures and talk about them in detail. But let's carry on. So there's going to be two main farms. So two main farms. Animal one that's got all animals from what I understand, and then there's an arable one. So a bit like Carmsen, how we had two farms, one for arable, one for animals. There's over 4 small yards as well that can be purchased. Over 70 fields, small, medium, and large. All fields can be customized in size because you can obviously remove the fences and you can remove hedges. Over 30 UK placeables released with the map. Over 5 sell points, garden centre, etc. 12 new ground textures that have been upgraded to 2K textures. So that's for us to paint with. So if you want to paint your own ground textures, we've got 12 new ones. We've got customised traffic with motorbikes, articulated lorries, etc. Hundreds of brand new models created for the map. Highly detailed models with all PBR materials. A drivable mallard steam train. New crops. So I don't know what the crops are yet, but we're going to get new crops. New productions. 2 interior farmhouses which are placeable. So we're going to get 2 proper interior, 2 farmhouses that are designed to be like the one on Court Farms that I use in my farmhand that we can actually go inside. So that's superb. We've got a realistic forests, new realistic UK foliage, which I've pointed out several times. Skybox mode, new animals. Not sure what the new animals are going to be, but we're going to get new animals. Loads of new ambient sound effects. HD texture pack. So the PC version of this will have a HD texture pack that can be as an optional add-on. And we're also going to get new grass textures, which you've seen and are outstanding. We're near the end of his description now, but he carries on and says, the map has been in development for nearly 2 years and is currently a work in progress. And a lot of things will change. I plan to release this sometime later next year, so in 2025, for Farming Simulator 25. So it's not coming for FS22. Just want to make that clear. It's just for FS25 and it's going to come out sometime in 2025. And he carries on and says, I hope you enjoy the screenshots, which will keep you busy while the map is being created. As always, I will try to bring this to console when the time's ready. Don't forget to follow Oxy's page as well and join his hub for more information on Witcombe Park Farm. So if you want to stay up to date and everything, make sure you join them. I'll put links to them as well in the video description. And he's also added in his donate link, which I've mentioned about for PayPal. So I'll make sure to put all that good stuff in the video description. So if you want to go support him, show him some love. I know you'll appreciate that. He works his socks off for everyone, and he loves Farming Simulator in the community. And I think we're lucky to have him going into FS25. Right then, 2 left. We're going to go through town, then we're going to end with farm, and we're just going to fly through these. But first off, let's have a look at this. How detailed is that? We've got a Shell garage. There's obviously going to be functional, so you can go there and fill up from. We've also in the distance got a Subway. You've got a one-stop shop. Now, this is what I've noticed. This is on a roundabout on the map, and you can see how spot on that is. That is as UK as it gets. Let's just say that. Wow. I lost for words. And there, look, Toby's Carvery. We've got a Toby's Carvery. Never mind George and his donuts. He's going to be, oh God, he's going to be, I'm never going to take George out that carvery. He's done a cracking job with that Shell garage though. Even you know, the smallest details matter, don't they? And the textures, the staining on the floor, which you obviously see. In fact, it's got like seasonal fuels on sale and all these kind of different sale signs and oil there. The security cameras at the top. The Costa, the fact it's got a Costa Express in the building, which you see as well. And then look at Toby's Carvery. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, that's definitely going to be called George's Carvery by the end. I do love this though, adding in the details of like the shops, the petrol station, the Toby's Carvery, this church with the, you know, the traditional British post box there as well, a nice little bench. And the detail on that church, you know, even the gravestones, it's just superb. It really is. Now, a street here where you'd expect some houses, even got some random things going on, like you can see scaffolding up there with a ladder. You know, it's not just also straightforward, a little one shop at the end of that. Phone box, skip in the drive, motorbike there. Got some kind of shed on the distance there as well. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Yeah, you've done so well with that church. It just looks exact. I can't really find any other words. I can't fault it. You know, I think everyone in the UK's seen one of them, probably been in one of them at school and so on. I love this as well because you can see that it's like a house, but then it looks like a bit of a barn, bit of a building of some sorts, that maybe like a farm in the distance because you've got the farm shed. So this looks like it could be one of the main entrances to the farm. And I like the fact that it's on such a main road and we've got, you know, close to here, the petrol station and so on. So, you know, we're not out in the middle of nowhere, are we? Even the litter. The tiny bit of litter there, and that looks like a really nice texture going through that doorway. Looks like it's got some Walker's Crisps and Pringles on show. Now, definitely drive a harvester up that road. That's one thing you can do. That's a wide enough road for an harvester, so it might be user-friendly when it comes to, because I know in Court Farms originally people were saying about the gates and everything like that. Well, you can remove them now, and you can see just in the distance over there, a silo. So that looks like it is one of the main farms, if not the main farm. I love that shot. I really do. I think that's, if you're going to give anyone a detailed shot of a UK map and how it should look, that's perfect. Coming up to that junction and seeing, you know, the traditional kind of council house, original council house, what they used to look like, with the kind of tin-shaped roofs and stuff like that. One stop in the distance, the UK signs. What a shot that is as well. You can see the little town here. It must be called Witcombe. Probably just Witcombe town or something. I'm not accustomed to the area, but you can see in the distance there you've got some big sheds, a silo. Definitely one of the farms is located there. But we can't see the manor house, so, you know, this is on its own section. You've got the church there. Might even be another building like a church just in the distance there. And you've got some elevation when it goes to the hills there, so you can see that some of these fields look like they're going to be on a bit of a slope. And there we go. So only one left now. One left. We're going to get through this. We've got 20 more pictures left, and this is all of the farm. So let's get through these now. So first off, look at that cobweb. I don't think I've ever seen a cobweb in a map before, but it's such a good idea. Perfect choice in tractor there as well, Oxy. Definitely got to have an old Massey, small Massey on the farm. But look at the texture of the ground as well. How aged it is. The tyres. Looks like the inside of a shed, but I really like that cobweb. So this looks like a small yard farm, which I do like having the option of. And I think a lot of players do like starting off small. So it looks like we're going to have the option to do that with this map. Actually, it looks like, yeah, and it looks like it's at the side of a house as well. So perfect starting point. But here we are. Here we get into the farms now. So this is probably one of the most important pictures you've seen. And this looks like to be like an entrance, or at least one point of entrance off a road going into the farm. You can see it's got the bunning muck spreader there, Massey down at the bottom, and then we've got a cow shed there. So initial thoughts on that is a lot of storage, nice open area. The texture on the ground on that one. Maybe a stables? Is it a stables maybe? Don't know, but some detail. I thought there was a face in the tree there. Can you see that? Looks like two eyes and a bit of teeth showing or something. But yeah, the textures on the buildings as well stand out. You see the little cracks in the old stonework there. Wow. So this looks like it's the same open yard area, and you can see that that's a grazing area up on that kind of hill for the cows. And I think the cow barn might just be here, or that could be a bunker, but we've definitely got the shed, and that looked like that where that Massey was we saw. So I think the cows are probably just to the right of this now, but I do like that open yard and the track going up to potentially grass fields or so on. But I like this massive open gate that goes into the pasture as well. So this looks like it is the animal farm. We have got the big arable one as well. And I think we've also got a road that goes in between. So there's a couple of sheds, and I love the texture of them sheds. Don't think we've seen anything like that. But yeah, good impressions on this one. There's a lot of storage, nice open area. So there you go. You can see now the silo on the other side here. The cows are down there. A road going through the middle of it, which I really do like. Some of the best farms I've played on FS19 always had a road going through the middle. So you can see now we've got two elevations here. A flat point here looks like a shed to the left-hand side. Bit of a feed silo of some sorts, and then an actual maybe bunker or manure, or a point for manure or something, but it does look like a bunker. We've also got a wall here that curves off, so there's definitely some elevation changes going on there, and that's further down now, aren't we, on the farm? Because that's where that kind of track went up to, obviously, a grass field. We've got the cows grazing there, so the cow barn must be here, and then this must be like maybe a bunker for silage to it. Looks like it's situated in the right spot. I love that texture on that shed. Morgan's USK, it says. But it just looks weathered and warm, but, you know, what you'd expect to see. It's not brand new and shiny. I like that a lot. And I like the transitions as well from the textures onto the road. And there you go. So now this is a cracking shot. And if you do go and search Witcombe Park Farm on Google Maps and have a look, you'll see this. You'll see this road because I've done it myself. And it's bang on. You can see a nice entrance there going into where the cows are. You've got your silo here. You know, after 6 months or 12 months after this map's going out, we're all still going to be playing on this, and it's going to feel like home to a lot of people. You know, and that's just a great testament to a cracking map. But it is going to feel like home to a lot of people. Looking at this, it looks like we have got an area to drive through as well to feed the cows, and I really like that. Because you can see at the back there, yeah, cows are out grazing. So the grazing land's up there, but we've got a drive through to feed, which I do think is important. And it looks like we've got a bit of a storage point there as well, some more storage, and the harvesters there. So you can see now how wide and how open this kind of main yard is on the farm. But at the same time, it doesn't feel bare, does it? You know, you've got textures there, a straw, we've got some storage points here, maybe bales, but you've got a trailer in it, tractor up that side as well, many sheds, the cow barn that we can drive through. I don't know if that's a separate one. I don't know if that's the other way around coming through. But I think it could be, because that's the silo, so it might be up there and then down. Does it dip down as well in the centre? Because if it does, that's pretty cool. And you can see again, this is where the entrance is. So this road that I said go check out on Google Maps. So I think the farmhouse is maybe just this side. But yeah, I mean, it's outstanding. It is. Now, I don't know if we're just seeing one farm. From what I can tell, we've seen like a little area, and then we've seen one farm. I don't know if we've seen maybe the arable farm, or because this has definitely got animals on, but we have got a salad, so maybe we can do everything at this farm. But that gives a really good impression of the farm itself, and you can see that bunker there. And then this is up on the field where the cows are grazing. And that looks to me like an even more modernised cow barn. It's definitely a more modern one. And you can see that this one's where we had the cows in. And then that one there is a much bigger one. So it is quite a big farm with a lot of storage on. Well done, Oxy. I think a lot of people are going to like that layout. So this is where the sheep go. And they're grazing. And look at that grass texture. Do you know what? That's definitely the best grass texture I've seen by a country mile. It looks just very natural and very picturesque at the same time. Right, so this gives away quite a bit as well. We can see the other side of them, like I said, more modernised sheds, maybe for the pigs, or, you know, maybe for just beef stock or something different than dairy stock. But they look definitely to be like some kind of cow shed to me, if I was guessing. And then I like this kind of dirt track outside here. You know, there's no tarmac on it. And it obviously has got a few gates leading out to some grass fields. And again, the gates, definitely new textures. I think in FS22, we've always seen the same kind of gate, that silver gate. And it is a really nice textured gate, but not to this extent. I like we've seen a few variations now as well. Right, so there you go. That's definitely a drive-through. I don't think it does dip down, actually, but I really like that kind of build-up of straw that's there. That's a great addition. I think we should see things like that more often, where it's actually looks like it's 3D, if anything, above the ground. I know we've seen it a few times kind of flat on the ground, but it does make a difference when it kind of looks like it's bulking up. And I like that. I like that because that could be like maybe just your dairy cows are in there. You can drive through, feed them. That's definitely the track there that goes up to the kind of fields and the grazing and the grazing point for the cows. And then down here you got the bunker in there. I love that kind of little slope down as well. It's really clever, and if it is based on a real farm, they've got a decent farm there. But I think after this, I'm going to go and have a look. I'm going to try and get the layout of the land even better to see what we're going to get into, especially if there's another arable farm, because I think we've only seen, I don't know if I'm right there, I might have completely missed it, but I think we've only actually seen the main farm, the one that's got the animals in, and it looks like it's also got a silo as well. But there we go. That is Witcombe Park Farm by OxygenDavid for FS25, and what a map it is. I can't wait for it, and I imagine from the comment section straight after this video drops, you guys are going to be at the exact same, and it does have the wow factor. It really does. It's impressive, and yeah, congratulations, Oxy, because 2 years in already what you've created is incredible, and it looks like it's going to set the standard. And the last thing I want to say, just to everyone that's stuck around, I can confirm that the farmhand will be going to Witcombe Park Farm on FS25. That is confirmation that we're definitely using this map as the next map in the farmhand story. And if you like the idea of that, give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. See you, everybody.